So our next session is Copyright in the Age of Digital Transformation. And this session will be moderated by Deborah Sztajnberg, CEO of Debs Consultoria, Brazil. And the panel members are Mariela Youssef, Associate Corporate Counsel, Amazon Web Services, Dubai, and Sanaz Javadi, IP Attaché, British Embassy, Dubai, UAE. Please welcome them on stage.
Yes, it's your dish. If you want, you can sit. If you want, you can sit. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it's better.
Hello and good afternoon to everyone. Thanks so much for coming. I'm going to introduce myself first. My name is Deborah Sztajnberg. I'm from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, because usually they think people are from São Paulo in these conferences. And I'm an entertainment lawyer and also a professor at the university. My office is one of the largest entertainment law practices, and we are known for big and impossible cases. Usually, my students call me the queen of impossible cases, because really what we do, I don't even know how we do and how we get the things we get. Our latest case, which is the one I wanted to share with you, you might have heard about it because it was globally and internationally announced, because it involves our client, who's a famous Brazilian composer, and he had his song plagiarized by Adele and her producer. It is not me saying so, it's a judge saying so at the preliminary injunction we were able to get. And I even brought the video my office produced to the judge, understand what was it about. Because in Brazil, when you go to judge, usually me, the last thing they want to know is me and what do I have to do. Because they always say, ah, there she comes, with these things and cases and artists and celebrities. Of course, most of our clients are artists and celebrities, of course. But with the help of my friend Balpreet, I might be able to show you what our office has done. Balpreet is gonna play, the video our office produced to prove this song is the Brazilian song. You can play. And the other song is from Adele. And this is the video we produced to get the injunction and do the takedown all over the world of the song.
De todas as cores, de várias idades, de muitos amores.
We mixed and over put one another.
Já tive mulheres do tipo atrevida, do tipo acanhada, do tipo vivida, casada, carente.
This is what we do. We put the song into a computer system and show the judge how the lines are exactly the same. The the musical
Des
lines.
divers âges, très amoureuse, certaines, je suis restée un temps avec, à d'autres, et je me suis confiée. Já tive mulheres de todas as cores, de várias idades, de muitos amores, com umas até certo tempo fiquei, pra outras apenas pouco me dei. Já tive mulheres
This is,
do tipo
of course, our
atrevida,
client.
do tipo acanhada, do tipo vivida, casada, carente, solteira, feliz. Já tive donzela e até meretriz. Já tive mulheres de todas as cores, de várias idades, de muitos amores. Com umas até certo tempo fiquei, pra outras apenas.
I think it's enough, Balpreet. I don't want to go forever and ever with this because the song is long. I'm sorry I'm standing, but as a teacher, I do the classes as standing, not as sitting down. So again, to the presentation, what I was going to tell you is this. You can go for the next one. For me to try and understand this was headlines all over the world, not because of me, but because of Adele, of course. And it was very hard to convince the judge to take down the song all over the world, but as he saw this video, the one I just showed you, it became quite impossible not to. You don't have to be a musician. I have 2 PhDs, one is in law and another one is at musicology. But you don't have to be neither a musician nor a musicologist to understand and hear what we call the test of the normal observer. Normal observer is you guys, not me, because I know how to read music sheets. But you don't have to read music sheets or anything. If you just listen to the 2 songs put together, one over the other, you can see it's impossible to be a coincidence. And talking about copyright and plagiarism, especially in music, which one is it? You have to prove certain things. And what's your name again? The mathematician? David. When presented you as a mathematician, I was very glad because I don't even know how to understand the numbers. But the only reason that I understand some numbers is because, math and music are proven in the musicology to be together. Somehow, don't ask me. You know I know. But what you have to prove is that the person has to have known that song at some point of their lives. And we proved that Adele's producer did because he studied music, Brazilian music, at the university when he studied. Not only this, but he said, I made this song 1 million years ago, as a bossa nova song. And everybody knows bossa nova is a Brazilian kind of music. Actually, I work for João Gilberto's state, which is the creator of bossa nova. So 1,000 details made us possible to take down the song all over the world. And we asked for the recognition of the plagiarism and the compensation, of course. The injunction was granted. There was a preliminary hearing, which was a disaster because Universal Music made a disaster out of it, but no comments. Let's see what happens next. And also not only the plagiarism lawsuit, but again, the criminal lawsuit, because it's violation of copyrights, everyone knows here. But I just don't want to take your time very much, and I want to hear Sanaz. Just to tell you that copyright, IP, and I was going to ask you a question, but I loved your speech. Actually, I just received from one of my students, now the Supreme Court of Brazil just didn't accept a lawsuit that somebody is allegedly saying the judge did not write the sentence. It did via ChatGPT or AH, but it wasn't on. It just got to my email. That's why I was going to ask you. It's a very coincidence. I said, my God. But anyway, just to share with you a few thoughts that we talked here over the day of the challenges. This is a challenge. To take down a song all over the world, it's a challenge. I never thought I would make it, actually. But we did, and of course, they are appealing from it. And let's see what's the next chapter of this novel. It's going to be a very exciting novel. But now I want to introduce you, Sanaz Javadi, and we're gonna have a few questions and answers, and then from you guys. I would like to ask you, Sanaz, what do you think are the main challenges about copyright law and digital content?
Thank you. We have only one microphone, so thank you so much again, everyone. Now I have my British hat, but Iranian. I'm not British. I just emphasize. I would like to first provide another perspective, because I think we are almost lawyers here in this room, and coming from Switzerland, where I think the major decisions on IP policy framework happens, working with different IP institutions all around the world. So I think there is a huge gap that I personally suffer from, that is like, as mentioned by Muna in the previous panel, we don't talk enough to each other. And in United Nations system and in WIPO, we talk a lot about public-private partnership and collaboration with each other, which makes sense also in IP domain, and current WIPO administration is really emphasizing on the partnership and working with different stakeholders all around the world. And as WIPO DG always emphasizes, that we want to make IP system to serve 99% of the world, not only 1%. And coming originally from a developing country which is under sanctions, so you see a lot of barriers and challenges in the country, working with all these developing countries all around the world. So I think this is the platform that we can talk and we can provide awareness raising, because everything starts with education, right? So my role as the IP Attaché, because everyone asks, what is IP Attaché? You know, what is it about? So it's an intersectional role that you work with the government on the policy framework, you provide advice. One part of the advice is on the copyright and also AI and different issues on the digital environment and digital platforms at this stage. And also at the same time working with right holders in private sector. So helping businesses to tap into international market and also protect their rights in digital environment. So I just arrived, it's 2 months I'm here, so I'm pretty new. I'm just still, after all these years coming back to the region, I'm just still discovering what is the framework, because I prioritize certain countries in the region, UAE, Saudi, Qatar, and North Africa for the time being, and we will see how we will evolve, because everything goes based on the demand of the governments, and also at the same time the providing protection to UK businesses, and in this case also the creators, artists, and etc. And one of the things that is really interesting for me, and we're going to start with UAE government, is working on the copyright protection of the copyright of the right holders in digital platforms. And because you know that there is a lot of, and I also mentioned to the IPS school in the UAE, so we will work on the training and awareness raising, of course, but also on the enforcement side, which is the major challenge, because especially since pandemic, a lot of issues triggered, right? A lot of, bloggers, a lot of content providers, a lot of people are active on social media, they're using their digital platforms, website, even like we have metaverse now. So this is where some countries, like some governments like UK come to play, because UK just launched their consultation on copyright and AI, so anyone can contribute and consult the government, because we're also developing their strategy on copyright and AI. So we will work with the governments, with UAE and Saudi at this stage, to provide some sort of assistance, technical assistance for enforcement. So enforcement is not only about going to the courts, right? So enforcement is also working with the authorities, like for example, Dubai police, with customs. So like one side is providing protection to the artists, because we have this demand from the British artists that are willing to be more and more active in this region, and they're active on digital platforms, but they're being infringed on, like not daily basis, but from time to time. So they would like to have some sort of, enhanced protection in their region, especially for the case of copyright, which is in most jurisdictions you cannot register it, or it's like, proof of ownership is more difficult compared to other IP issues. And then at the same time, working with, for example, social media platforms, like, for example, Insta block. You see that you cannot, like, Insta is blocking all this illegal content, even sometimes the music that you're putting, because of the providing protection to the right holder. So as government, we're going to work with other governments to provide different layers of protection. So, and again, the demand comes from the businesses, because we have the businesses that are contacting us. Okay, I'm an artist, I'm based in UK, I'm sitting in London, but I'm traveling a lot to the region in order to see if I can enforce my right through CMOs and collective management organization, which is also another issue that we will be working on, because I think it's a very new thing. I don't know about Brazil, but like CMOs in this region is really a new thing. We don't have it everywhere in all countries. I'm still deep diving into each and every country to see what is the IP situation in different domains. But still, on the CMOs, how we can have the CMOs, how we can help the governments and local stakeholders to establish CMOs, so that CMOs can provide also some sort of protection to the right holders. So, yeah, so this is what, I mean, I think normally as lawyers, we talk a lot about the substantial issues under IP rights, but rather than WIPO, we don't really talk about policy work. So this is where the IP attaché role comes into place. So could it be UK, US, France, or Japan, because we are 4 IP attachés, we are active in the region. So as I mentioned, we are just, next week, we're just going to have our first formal negotiation with UAE government to see how we will identify our, future work plan and how we are going to work on the enforcement of copyright in digital platforms in UAE and also in the region, because UAE would like to use the base of the country as a platform to help other countries, so because of the business potentials here, especially in Dubai, not in Abu Dhabi, but in Dubai. So what else I can add? Do you have any other,
I was exactly because of you mentioned AI. I was going to ask you, how do you think AI will impact directly on copyright laws?
So again, I think the AI impact is twofold, right? From one side, AI, the same as technology, AI can have the contribution to developing new art, new creations, new creativity, but at the same time, it could be a challenge, right? Because you can copy and infringe easily, right? So again, our role as the policymakers is is that we identify the challenges, and based on the challenges that the right holders they face, especially counterfeiting products is a major concern in this region. How we can help right holders to identify their rights and how they can enforce it. And again, how AI can contribute to the enforcement. Because again, the governments are working on the infrastructure now, not only on the protection side, but also on the enforcement side. They are training judges, so that judges can use AI for better, like not using ChatGPT, I mean, but so helping and technical assistance to the judges so that they can enhance their technical skills to use AI-related technologies in order to provide better, better IP solutions. And at the same time, how AI can improve judicial system. So how the judicial system, because we're talking about the digital government here, so how judicial system can function better based on the digital platforms that they are using. So again, it's as we discussed during the last panel, there are always opportunities and challenges. But again, through working with the government, but at the same time consultation with the private sector, we will see what are the gaps, what are the deficiencies, and again, it's sector-based. It's not like one size fits all doesn't exist, solution doesn't exist. So you have to adopt the solutions based on each and every one, challenges and like the challenges they are going through. Again, like maybe the challenges they are going through in UAE is different from another country in the region because UAE is more developed and enhanced in terms of IP framework and IP infrastructure. So this is all I can say at this stage because I'm still, learning a lot myself. And I think, again, for us, everything goes based on the government priorities, the government demand, and also the private sector needs. And we also, as a part of our work, we normally dispatch an IP questionnaire to right holders to identify their challenges so that based on their challenges, we can, again, advise the government. For example, this is the UK right holders, UK artists, UK, musicians, songwriters issue in the region and how the government should enhance the level of IP protection so that they can also, because it's mutual, right? So they provide protection to the British ones, we provide protection for the UAE ones. And it's all about also enhanced and expedited protection. For example, if normally you go through, few months of, time for examination and evaluating your case. So normally during the expedited process, you can protect the relevant IP rights in a shorter time frame. So. And again, like on the AI side, I can say that Saudi is really pioneer. They have the very first AI law in place in the region, and they want to also play a significant role in terms of IP issues, and they want to act as a sort of like focal point in the region so that they can provide IP assistance to all countries in Middle East. And because they have also established an IP academy, so through this IP academy, Saudi is also working with different institutions and so that they can work together again on AI, because in both countries AI is the top priority. So, and the other issue is that for the time being we are working on 4 different issues, which is again intersectional. It's IP AI, IP finance, enforcement issues, which is related to copyright and other IP issues, and also CMOs, establishing the CMOs and collective management organizations so that the right holders can act through a focal point, and like an intermediary in the region. Yeah.
I love your inputs. Anyway, then I would like to know if anyone has a question. We'll be gladly accepting any questions you might have. Balpreet can.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions?
Anyone wants to ask? Oh, no.
I think you raised your hand, no?
You did? You did? Ah, okay. We thought you did. Okay, so.
From that side?
Oh,
okay.
We have a question. Yes, it was on this side and then on the other side. Let me hear with the microphone.
So, it's not a question per se, but just a general thought that I had. I mean, we talk about two sides of AI implementation. One is that AI is going to create more and more different types of art, songs, anything. And on the other side, we are also thinking of how to implement AI to help IP holders find infringers. So can we say that somewhere down the line, AI would be smart enough to develop new art and at the same time avoid all kinds of infringement?
Again, this is, I think, the scary point that we're all afraid of. And to be honest with you, I think that point will come very soon. And again, we discussed this in the last panel. I don't know if the current framework, like especially in international policy area, it takes ages that governments come to a point that, okay, this is the consensus toward like a certain IP right. You've seen it about other IP issues, traditional knowledge, genetic resources, like taking 2 decades so that they can, come to a conclusion. So again, AI is fast-paced, and of course the policy makers have to really act fast. But again, I think that the pace of technology is so quick that I don't think that the current framework really can follow the pace of the. So again, I've never practiced law. I've been always mostly with the government and coming from a civil law country. But I really believe in practice, in action, I don't care about the law, to be honest with you. In practice, the same way we discuss about coaching the startups and the small businesses, we have a Persian saying that we say that rather than giving fish to people, teach them how to fish. So this is what is important. If we can implement the relevant strategies to help businesses, to artists, creators to grow, and protect their rights and overcome the infringements, because the infringement happens on daily basis. Each and every second you can, like even you put something on your Instagram or your LinkedIn, someone else can easily copy and, so no one is really safe from infringement in these words. But again, it's a big question mark in my head as well, honestly. And as I mentioned, UK just launched this AI consultation. So we will see where we are going to head to. And to be honest with you, I have no clue at this stage.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. Do we have any questions left?
Yeah, I have one.
Hi.
Hi. Deborah, for the case that you showed here, just want to know, you were able to get injunction in various countries?
Yes.
So you had to individually approach in the respective jurisdictions, or is there some convention in copyright where the decision issued by the Brazilian court was applicable in other countries as well?
Yes, because the injunction, we asked for the takedown all over the world, and especially because at one point somebody asked me, how could it be? But we did provide all the information, especially, which is simple. It's a letter from the judge to the basic digital platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, all these platforms. And they are bound to the injunction. What happened is because of the preliminary hearing, that it was crazy, Universal Music got to suspend just these letters for the digital platforms, which means Adele cannot perform this song, or radios or TVs cannot. The judge only suspended, because of the preliminary hearings, the letters to the digital platforms. The other forms of distribution and everything, it's prohibited. And now we are also appealing from that, because we want the digital platforms to stop until you have a final decision to stop distributing and being able to play the song, because it causes damages, and otherwise it's going to be like it's an unpayable compensation, because it's going to be forever. So we're trying to minimize the damages for the composer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to add something. Like, this is a very interesting case, actually. I'm not aware of any other case in this region, but this is exactly this case that, you know, the injunction that you have and the enforcement type, that the governments are responsible as umbrella protection. So this case is a very, I think, successful example on enforcement. And I mentioned to InstaBlock, and it's relevant to any other platforms and applications. So I think if you can share more information later on, I think this is good for the sake of awareness raising and training the right holders.
What I missed on my answer to you, and then I answer to you, is because Brazil is a signatory of the Berna's Convention. So every country is bounded by the convention. That's why in the countries of the convention, of course, the injunction is valid. I forgot to answer this also. But anyway, any more questions you would like to make? If not, I would like to thank you, Sanaz, and thank you for your presence, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you. And I would like to request Sanaz to honor Deborah. Yeah, let me click the picture.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.